What up, losers? Staying in for Halloween? So am I. We are going to be talking about something a lot scarier than, I don't know, your next grocery bill. But y'all see that struggle right there? That's a one-ply roll of toilet paper on a paper towel holder. That's real horror. The struggle is struggling, but what do I know? I'm just a mindless consumer, so let's ignore that for now and hope someone else comes and fixes the economy. Literally just watch Woman of the Hour. So good, by the way. If at any point in time, like, my story gets boring, literally just turn me off and watch Woman of the Hour instead. Like, so good. But after watching it, I realized, like, I have a few horror stories of my own. Maybe the person I was with wasn't a serial killer, but you know what? Either way, I'm still alive. They didn't catch me lacking. He didn't catch me. Wait. If I am murdered, do not prosecute the murderer because he caught me lacking. I wasn't caught lacking. I'm alive. I probably shouldn't say that because that's kind of like an invitation for someone to like come hunt me down and murder me. But you know what? They can pick up some paper towels on the way. But yeah, what other better way to celebrate Halloween than to share some actual scary stories? I'm an East Coast Asian, so Asian culture has never really been around for me that much. Um, Outside of my immediate family, I didn't really grow up around a lot of Asian people, but my mom, like literally the year right after I graduated high school, she decided to move to Texas. So if you don't know anything about Texas, there's a large Asian population there. So I went down and I visited her. Um, and while I was there, I got bored and I decided, oh my gosh, I should go on Hinge and check out the scene. And I was really, really, really excited to actually like match with Asian people for once. And I was like, okay, I get to see like what it's like dating like someone who gets it, someone with like the little connection. And like I'm also gonna be doing skincare because skincare is important, obviously. So anyway, so I matched with this really cute guy. He was like six two. Like he was tall. I'm 5'6" for reference. He was like, I don't know, like strong, I guess. I'm not like, but like basically like so you see the difference, right? You can see the comparison. So we were chatting, it was fun. He asked me out for hot pot, which I thought was like cool because like I could never go to hot pot with like a white guy on a first date. So we went there. It was like a medium place, like it was kind of meh. um so we went there, and like it was just a very normal date. Like it was just very average. We were just talking, and like I didn't notice it at the time, but like he was kind of like humble bragging a lot. And like a lot of the things that he was talking about himself, he was like, yeah, I'm really well connected to like the Vietnamese community around here, blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay. But like basically like it was very average, just like average date, average place, average everything. He paid, again, average. I don't know if this is controversial at all, letting him pay for the date. Like I thought that's normal behavior to let like someone else pay for the date, especially if I'm not like I don't ask people out when I'm on Hinge unless I really really like them. And if I really really like them, then I will pay for the date. Yeah. But but he asked me out. So like it was kind of a given that he was going to pay for the date. And so yeah, we were gonna go get boba afterwards, and he was also gonna get that, obviously. Like he didn't make a big deal out of it. Like he was very chill about it. He like it was a very chill thing to do. Like, oh, here, I'm just gonna get it. And I was like, okay, great, thank you. Or I didn't say thank you. Should I have said thank you? Let me know what you think about that, cuz like I don't know the proper etiquette, and I'm not saying I'm gonna be the proper etiquette. We just got out of hot pot. We're on our way to get boba, and then suddenly he picks up a call, like from his friend or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, are you gonna make day for the whatever this week, for whatever they got going on tonight?" And then I was like, oh cool, so you got like plans, we can cut the date short, that's no problem. And it was like, no, no, I want to continue our date. Like he's like, oh, it's going so well, blah 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 blah. And then I was like, okay, I thought it was just kind of average, we can cut it short, we can hang out another time, that's not like the worst thing in the world. And he was basically just like, oh no, absolutely, like I do not want this date to end. So he took me to a grocery store, like an Asian grocery store. And if anyone knows anything about Asian grocery stores, they're not the most hygienic. So yeah, we get to the grocery store, and um, he gets he gets like a shopping cart, and then I'm just kind of chilling in the back, letting him do what he needs to be done, like a little bit zoning out. And for some reason, he thought that a good thing to do because I was zoning out was to bump into me repeatedly with like the rusty shopping cart. And I was like, are you okay? Like, is the shopping cart like have a bad wheel? Like, what's the issue? Because you shouldn't be purposely hitting into me like that. Like, basically just like pretending like I didn't notice so I could give him like a chance to like fall back. And he was like, oh no, you're just acting off. And I was like, acting off? We just met. This is how I act. Basically being like, bro, you need to stop. Like, I'm not vibing with that. But whatever. I let him continue shopping. 20 minutes go by. Not a single thing is in that shopping cart. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's search up a recipe for de, which is like a dessert. Like it's very similar to like the little like strawberry soda fruit thing that was trending a while back ago. Like it's just basically a bunch of fruit, a bunch of like other things mixed in with a bowl of like coconut milk. It sounds it's a lot better than it sounds. Um I already knew how to make it, but I was like, you know what? It'd be an activity that you could do together. That'd be kind of fun. Like I'm like giving him so many outs right here cuz like I said, this is my first date with an Asian guy. I was like, might as well not let it go to waste. Um After 30 minutes, all he picks up is like a bottle of like tatyu. And if anyone knows what that is, it's literally just like a bottle of coconut jelly. It's like the very last addition you add to like your jie. Like literally anyone could have a bottle of that. Like if he was going to a house party, if he forgot that to add that and like he went to the house party, he literally could just ask like whoever's house that was for like a jar to add that into. Like I have 3 jars sitting in my pantry right now because I eat it like by itself. It's like just like it's like the whipped cream. Okay, no. It's just like a topping. Point is, it took him forever. We just got that. And at that moment, like my like little Asian spidey senses were going off. Like I haven't been around that many Asian people, but the people I do have, I know very intensely well. Um so there's this weird thing in Asian cultures where the men are allowed to be, how do you say it, useless. um Everything I learned about budgeting, cooking, cleaning, frugality, maintaining a household is just, it's always been secondhand information from my sister that she learned from my mom. Like my mom never bothered teaching me any of those things, but that's kind of to be expected. Like I've seen some very useless like 30-year-old men. And I'm not saying like white people don't do that, but like I'm saying when it comes to Asian people, it's like a whole culture backing it. It's not just like one boy mom decided to like make a man child, you know? It's like it's like systemic. And then I was like, okay, you know what? That's probably just what it is. I wasn't vibing with that. I am not gonna be dating a useless man. And I was like, let me go home. And he was like, wait, don't you want boba? And I was like, okay. Like I was a little bit sad I didn't get boba because like my stomach is still full from the hot pot and like you want something cool and sweet to like warm you down. That's just the Asian taste buds tingling. So we got boba. It was like whatever, just like meh. He like talked to the owners in Vietnamese a little bit. After the boba thing, he leaned in for a kiss, and I was just like, no. But I was like, you know what? Fine, because like up until that point it was okay. Like he's been leaning over to get me my like seatbelt buckle for a while, and he's been opening and closing my car, like my door. So I was like, fine. I gave him a little peck, and like he let out this weird like high pitched moan, like not even a moan that I would make, which is like very telling. It was like, and I was like, did bro transform into like an anime girl real quick? Like what is going on? Like what is going on? Um I kind of just like brushed past it, and then like I think he noticed that I was like a little weirded out by that. So he started being like very masculine after that. Like double the muscle, double the I'm taller than you. And he started making like a bunch of statements in the car. Like it was a very long drive. In the car, it was just like he had his hand over like the dashboard, and he was like, "Oh, oh, oh, oh." And I was like, okay. We get it, big boy. Calm down. Story number 1 is probably going to turn into my like only story of the night, because that was so traumatizing. I didn't even get to the bad part yet. That's how bad it was. So there was this one thing where while we were talking on Hinge, he had like old Pokemon games that I really wanted, because I had my old DS. Like I had it, like I just fixed it up again. Like, yeah, because I'm handy like that. I just fixed it up again. And I was like, oh, I want an old DS game. But then when I was searching it up on eBay, it was like $70. And I was like, that's ridiculous. So he was like, yeah, I have Pokemon Platinum. I kind of like didn't pay attention. Like I kind of zoned out. Like he was just talking the entire drive, might I add. Like I was just like, sounds great. The point is, we get to the location, and it's his house. I was like, bro, I am not getting in there. I am not getting in there. But this is the part where I get like so scary. This is like the woman of the hour part, that like I barely escaped the clutches, like bare like obviously I'm alive because I'm like talking to you and telling you this story, but like I didn't know if I was going to make it at that time. Like it was rough. I was in a random man's home. So I was in his home. I didn't want to get out of the car. I was like, "Oh, why are we here?" And he was like, "Oh, like I just wanted to get you the Pokemon game before you left." And yeah, I was like, "Oh, okay, like I'll wait here while you go get it." And he was like, "No, don't be ridiculous. Like when you come in, we can also make Dan whatever, and I'll give you a glass before you leave." And then I was like, something feels wrong here. Something feels wrong. I don't know how or why, but eventually I stepped into the home. Like, okay, his dad was there, which made me feel a little bit more comfortable, but his dad was just like chilling, like in his own room. Like he was gone. He was away. Um for context, it wasn't like he's an adult man. He's not like super old living with his parents. He was like 22, 23. I was 19 at the time. So I figured that's normal, because like if we hung out at my place, that would just be my mom. But his dad left, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm feeling a little bit more at peace knowing that there's another person in this home. So we went inside his home. We dropped off the things at the kitchen, and this man booked it to his bedroom. Like literally booked, like ran up to his bedroom, and was like, I can race you. And I was like, I don't want to go up there. You can race yourself. And it was just so ridiculous that like I didn't feel scared at the time, but like it was a scary thing, because when I got there, he was laying face down, planted into his bed, like sheets over his head and everything. And then I was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "I'm tired. I want to take a nap." I want to take a nap. And like I still didn't register like fully just how much danger I was in. Like I'm in this random guy from Hinge's house and he's trying to get me to go into bed with him no matter how funny it was. Like imagine like a grown ass man like laying face down butt to the sky, like double cheeked up, and then he just like opens his blanket one arm out and was like, come nap with me. And I was like, bro, what? And he's like, and his thing was like, Vietnamese people nap in the afternoon. I was like, nah, I'm gonna go home. And he was like, what? No. Like he got up immediately. He was like, no. And I was like, and like he grabbed the Pokemon card from me. I was like, okay, that's like kind of the main reason we're still here. And he was like, come on, at least like help me make some tea, right? I can't with this part. So we sit down and we make some tea. Or at least we try to. I know how to make it. I need this to be stressed. I know how to make it. I like making it because it's easy. Like if your family is prepping like for a gathering, you make the day. It's the easiest thing that you can do. Bro did not know where to start. He got out all the ingredients, like at least he had all the ingredients, right? Like he rolled it all out and then he just like handed it to me and he was like, we're Viet, we know how to make this, right? But like basically like including himself into the making, but then also excluding himself from like actually doing the work. So like imagine like you're a mom and then like you're like baking with your child basically. Like they sit down on the like the little island chair and like they don't do anything, but like you want them to feel included. That's what he did, but like reversed it onto me. Like I was forced to be the mom and I was like, nar. So I was still giving him the benefit of the doubt, like a little bit, just like the tiniest bit, because I was like, no man can actually be this useless, right? And then I was like, okay, I guess we can look up recipes together. Like again, I know how to make it, but then I want him to know how to make it, you know? Like after all, he's the one bringing it to his gathering. Like he should know how to make it. And he was like, "What? You don't know how to make jie? Like what kind of Vietnamese are you?" And I was like, "The kind that doesn't want to make the one that you're bringing to your gathering." And then he was like, what? Fine, fair enough. I only told them I was gonna make it because because I had a date with a Vietnamese boy. But like the thing is like, okay, so much to dissect there. Like you can tell that man wants a mom. Like you can tell that man wants a professional caretaker. Like and like the thing is like I'm gay for a reason. Like I like my split 50-50 relationships. Like I don't mind paying for a date and I don't mind getting a paid date paid for me. Like that's just the name of it. And I don't mind splitting either. Like that's the whole point of being gay. But I've never felt more like like I felt like scared and helpless and like I was like, holy shit, he is treating me like a woman. And I'm like, oh my god, this is how the girlies be feeling every single time they go on a date with a man. Like literally woman of the hour. Like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. So I was like, nah, I'm not making that for you. Like, take me home now, please. Like, bro. So I was gonna get out regardless. I was leaving that house. And he was like, and then he blocked the door and he was like, wait, nah. I'm a gentleman. Let me take you home. And I was like, fine, because I didn't want to waste the Uber money. And like, I looked at it. We were like a very far way away from my house. Like, incredibly far. I was like, how the fuck did you take me there? I should have paid more attention. Like, I know, like I know my survival skills are at like an all-time low at this point, but like, bro. So I gave him the name of the neighborhood. Like I didn't give him the name of the house. He took me to the front of the neighborhood. Then he parked his car and locked the doors. And he was like just trying to get into another monologue. Keep in mind, this man has nonstop been humble bragging ever since he paid for the boba. So he called up his Vietnamese friend. He he called up his Vietnamese friend to tell him about the date and about how I wasn't happy with the date. Basically, there were some words said in Vietnamese which I understood and I hate it. Like basically he was calling me like a sissy, you know, like a little sissy boy, like and like stuck up, basically stuck up. Like I got hit, like he paid for me and I didn't do anything for him. And I was like, okay. And his friend was like, "Oh my god, yeah, sounds like he's gotten like stuck up basically." And I was like, "Bro, you know I'm in the car, right?" Like he had this shit on CarPlay. I don't think his friend knew. And his friend was like, yeah. Tell him he's just being picky and like he's not gonna get any. He's never gonna get a date if if he keeps being picky." And I was like, "Okay, thank you for the unsolicited advice." And then the guy was on the line was like, "Is he even cute?" And then the guy I was on a date with went, "He's like an 8.5, but he acts like he's a 9." And I'm like, but like low key an 8.5, like my self esteem could never give me that score. Like that was already like a high enough score in my opinion. That's where he messed up. The guy was like, "Oh, I mean, if you think he's cute, then like try try it again, like you know." And I was like, no thanks. I'm literally in the car. I don't want to try it again." And so he hung up on his friend, just sat, and then like just started like laying down, relaxing. Like he like put his driver's seat all the way back and just started sitting there. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave now." And he was like, "No." And like we did this like weird little tango. Like my heart was bumping so fast. Where like I would unlock the door and I would try and like open it before he locked the door again. Like I was literally being kidnapped. Like I was literally being kidnapped. And then I think in the end I had to give him a back rub because his like shoulders were tired from all the driving. And like I guess like while he was doing it, he was like flexing, like trying to show off, like, "Oh, look at my shoulder muscles." But I was just like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Like let me go." So I was like literally like jamming it, like jamming my fist into his shoulders, and I don't think it affected anything, which kind of made me a little bit scared because I was like, even if I fight this man with all of my might, I won't be able to take him on, you know? And then at the like 3 minutes later, he was like, he finally came to his senses. He was like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry." And then he unlocked the door, dropped me off, and was like, "Here's the Pokemon game." And I was like, "Thanks." Like it just felt so gross to take after that. Like I didn't really want it. So like I just kind of like stared at it, and then he put it in my hand you know, like, and then like rolled it up, so like I had to take it. So I just like walked away like this. Like literally just like uh and then I didn't want to walk straight to my home. So I just kind of walked around the block a little bit, and like he was like waiting for me to get into my home, and then I was like, and I waved him down, and I was like, "I'm good." And he was like, "Oh no, a gentleman waits." And I was like, "A gentleman does not wait." I w- Bro, like my heart is palpitating, like rehashing that experience, but like I don't know how I lived it. And later that night, when he was at the party, he called me and he was like, "Oh, the dare turned out to be like a bust. It's really bad. Nobody's eating it." I was like, "I thought you said a good Viet boy knows how to make it." And then he started bursting into tears, apologizing for the way he did things, and he wanted a redo. And like he could never sleep knowing that he let he fumbled someone as good as me, and like how I'm this like dainty flower that's just so pretty, and like he just wants another shot with me, because he like if I decided that he wasn't worth it, then he really wasn't worth it, and that he was gonna do some weird shit. And I was like, bro, it's the first date. And like, no offense, but I've kind of sworn off Asian men after that.